So, dear students, continuing from the 8th part, we are in the 9th part of the wrist and hand complex of the biomechanics. So, just coming back to this area, you can see this is a cross section. These are the bones. This is hamate. This is capitate, trapezoid. That is trapezium and trapezoid. So you have trapezium on the lateral most part and the hamate on the medial most part. Capitate, as all of you know, is called as a keystone. So this is a tunnel, fibro ligamentous tunnel you can see, and this covered by the retinaculum as well as the transverse carpal ligament. It's transverse connection of the ligament which stabilizes the carpal bones in the distal area, distal carpal row. From here you can see this two, the yellow, and these are the middle side ulnar artery, and you can see the FCU which is superficial outside the three structures are namely outside the transverse carpal. One is the palmaris longus, I already told you that. Then on the middle side you have the ulnar artery and the ulnar nerve, the artery colored in red and nerve colored in yellow. Then the middlemost portion on the above the hamate bone you have the tendon of the FCU, flexor carpi ulnaris. Then you have on the lateral side, the lateralmost naturally on the volar aspect, you have the flexor carpi radialis. Then inside you have the yellow, that is a median nerve. You know about the carpal tunnel syndrome when the median nerve is compressed. This is a tunnel, the ligamentous tunnel which is inside which the median nerve is present. And you have the flexor pollicis longus along with near to the median nerve. And you have here you can just have to see that the deeper, the most deeper muscles, four tendons of the same muscle which are flexor digitorum FDP. FDP is the deepest finger flexor muscle. Okay, it is going and attaching to the distal phalanges. So the other two, that is superficial flexor digitorum superficial, is also just superficial to the in two stacks. Here this FTP are in the same layer, 1 2 3 4, and it's covered by a two another five, what you call as soft tissue structures covering that, and so that the tendons are not impinging each other. So there is a sheath covering each tendon and also a fat pad like structure which is separating the FTP structures from the FTS. FTS is kept in two in a row, or superior and inferior position, covered in by two soft tissue structures. So again, repeating, you can see the palmaris longus tendon in this view, the two yellow structures, the ulnar nerve and the median nerve, and you can see the flexor digitorum superficialis, which after entering this band is what we are seeing here. So this structure coming and then splitting into the four fingers, the same muscle coming and splitting into four tendons to supply to the attached to the four fingers. Then you have the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle just middle to the ulnar nerve. Then you have the flexor pollicis longus tendon and the flexor carpi radialis tendon. So here you can see the whole this structure is the flexor retinaculum and the transverse carpal ligament. In the cross sectional area you can see the hamate, capitate, trapezium and trapezoid bones are there. The middle only three structures outside. The flexor carpi ulnaris tendon outside the just above the hamate bone. The ulnar artery and the ulnar nerve enclosed in the same just above the transverse ligament, carpal ligament. Then in the middle you have the palmaris longus, which is here what you can see, and inside the tunnel you have the in the lateralmost position you have the flexor carpi radialis. Then between another band you have the flexor pollicis longus, median nerve just above it, and then four tendons of the flexor digitorum profundus in the same layer. Four tendons of the flexor digitorum superficialis stacked two above each. So these are the six muscles we've been talking about are palmaris longus, flexor carpi radialis, flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor digitorum profundus, and flexor pollicis longus muscles. The first three. So we have the six muscle in the six muscles. The first three muscles are primary wrist muscles. the primary wrist muscles, which is the flexor carpi ulnaris, extensor carpi ulnar, flexor carpi radialis, and then the flexor pollicis longus are the flexor muscles, and mainly they are primarily wrist muscles. But flexor digitorum profundus and flexor digitorum superficialis, palmar, these muscles, the other these muscles are also considered to be, muscles of wrist as well as the finger muscles. So if you take the pollicis, which is to the finger, remove the pollicis muscle, pollicis flexor pollicis longa, and then the flexor digitorum profundus and superficialis. These three muscles are going to the fingers. So all the other three, the palmaris longus, these muscles are flexor carpi radialis and the flexor carpi ulnaris are mainly acting on the wrist joint. At the wrist level, all the volar wrist muscles pass beneath the flexor retinaculum along with the median nerve except the palmaris longus and flexor carpi ulnaris muscles. The flexor retinaculum prevents. So why there is a flexor retinaculum is, you have to understand many number of tendons going into a particular area. If all of them are working together, what will happen? The tendon will try to come above the and pressurize the skin. So whenever there is movement and flexion, the tendon may come out of the wrist canal and then project onto the skin actually. But this does not happen in our hand because this bowstringing is prevented by flexor retinaculum and the transverse carpal ligaments. Bowstringing of the long flexors are prevented by flexor retinaculum, thereby contributing to maintaining an appropriate length tension relationship. The flexor retinaculum is often considered to have a proximal portion and a distal portion, with the distal portion more commonly known as the transverse carpal ligament. So the distal most portion is a distal in the row of distal carpal bones. So they are otherwise called as transverse carpal ligament. So the distal border of the flexor retinaculum is called as transverse carpal ligamentous border. The flexor carpi radialis muscle is active during, so you understood the flexor muscle of the flexor of the carpi means of the wrist of the carpal bones of the on which area, radial side, radialis. So radialis means radial deviation. So flexor carpi radialis muscle is active during radial deviation. However, the flexor carpi radialis muscle either augments the strong radial deviating force of the extensor. Usually, this muscle, flexor carpi radialis muscle, is a flexor muscle of the wrist. So, because it is on the radial side, it can act as a radial deviation, but not alone. For that, it also need the extensor carpi radialis muscle also. So, it deviating force along with the extensor carpi radialis longus on or offsets the extension also produced by the extensor carpi radialis longus. So it either acts together with the ECRL, that is extensor carpi radialis longus, the FCR, flexor carpi radialis muscle acts for radial deviation, or it will act against the extension power of the extensor carpi radialis. See, just imagine, it will in one action for radial deviation, this flexor carpi radialis will act as a team with the ECRL. But in another way, when the ECRL acts as an extensor, the flexor carpi radialis may act as a counteracting force. The palmaris longus muscle is a wrist flexor. It is a main wrist flexor. Palmaris longus is a main wrist flexor without producing either. So because you have seen the palmaris longus tendon is in the central. When now if you contract your hand, just try to contract your right wrist joint. What you see as a main tendon popping out of the your skin is the palmaris longus. Why? Because it is not inside the retinacula. That's why it is popping out, and you can see that this is bowstringing. But this does not happen to all other muscles. And you have to understand that some people don't have. 14% of the people either unit in one hand they will have and the other hand they don't have. So palmaris longus muscle, always you have to remember that They are the main wrist flexor muscle without producing any radial or ulnar deviation because they are centrally placed. And the important thing to remember is that 14% of the people don't have. When you 50 students, you just check your palmaris longest tendon on both sides. One side you may have, one side you may not have. So if you are seeing that one side it is very strong, the other side it is not visible also, that means that you may not have. So don't worry, that is not an abnormality. This is normal for people to happen, no have or don't have palmaris longus tendon. So what is the benefit of that is this, because it is not very 100% necessary, even without that people can survive. So this tendon, palmaris longus tendon, is used for surgical reconstruction. If at all surgical plastic surgery is needed, tendon is needed. So this may be taken from the hand and used for another area in their own body. So this is sacrificed. Okay. The flexor carpi, now going to the next muscle, flexor carpi ulnaris muscle.